Kim Kardashian will testify at the trial of the Paris gang accused of robbing her at gunpoint 9 years ago, Daily Mail. Kim can confirm, amid her nuclear war with her ex-husband Kanye West. In a shocking $10 million heist in 2016, Kardashian was bound, gagged and locked in the bathroom of her penthouse hotel suite, before the thieves made off with her lavish jewelry collection, including the $4 million engagement ring West gave her. All dozen defendants, who have been dubbed Kardashian's 12 after the Ocean's film series starring George Clooney and Brad Pitt, are currently at liberty, having been released from their high-security remand cells prior to their trial. At the center of the case is Omar Kedik, 69, a self-confessed career criminal who is affectionately known as Old Omar to French reporters and who has freely admitted to being the leader of the gang. One of his key lieutenants, Younis Abbas, now 72, has even written a book unambiguously entitled I Kidnapped Kim Kardashian. The group, nicknamed the Grandpa Robbers in the French media, are scheduled to begin their trial in April, and Kardashian will deliver her testimony to the jury in May. The upcoming court date comes in the wake of her dramatic feud with her ex-husband Kanye West, whom she left in 2021 after nearly 7 years of marriage. Their battle of wills burst into the public eye earlier this month after West disregarded Kardashian's objections and dropped a song featuring their 11-year-old daughter North along with Diddy, who is awaiting trial on charges including sex trafficking. Sources then claimed Kardashian ended one of North's visits with her father because self-described misogynist Andrew Tate was going to be present with his brother Tristan. The alleged episode with the Tates, who are facing charges in Romania including human trafficking and sex with a minor, is said to have prompted Kardashian to call an emergency custody hearing. West aimed a string of scathing rants at Kardashian on X last week, attacking her parenting and complaining that a white woman was in control of his black children. Kardashian is said to be considering applying for full custody of the 4 children she shares with West: North, 11, Saint, 9, Chicago, 7, and Psalm, 6. A source claimed Kardashian and her children were worried West was sinking further down mentally amid the former couple's explosive clash, via Page 6. The insider alleged West, who maintains he was incorrectly diagnosed with bipolar disorder, was obviously not taking his meds. If he was, we wouldn't be here. After his outbursts on X, West, 47, is purported to have flown to Tokyo, where multiple sources said he immediately became calmer, according to TMZ. In February 2017, 4 months after her Paris robbery, Kardashian spent 8 hours testifying to a French judge in New York City, an experience she later recounted on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. It was just a really long thing because you have to explain it to a translator and then the translator has to explain it to the judge. Then, she writes it with the clerk and then they have to read what you wrote. You have to do it sentence by sentence, she said. Going in there, I was so worked up wanting to explain it so quickly and you just can't do that, she recalled. You just have to be really slow and walk through the entire night second by second and that was just really hard. Kardashian also explained that she found it really interesting to see the faces of the accused, saying, just by their height and weight, I could tell who from this lineup was in the room with me. I was able to see who confessed. She continued, one of them was the guy that was in the room with me and it was very interesting to hear his story and it was pretty similar to my story. Kardashian claimed that there was a few things they're not saying to get lesser charges, but added that the alleged robbers were pretty honest and did tell most of the story exactly how it happened. It will not be until the end of next month at the earliest that Kedik, Abbas and the other 10 defendants will finally appear in the dock at the Paris Assizes, accused of armed robbery in an organized gang, kidnap and criminal conspiracy. Despite the levity of some involved, these are hugely serious charges which could well see the older defendants locked up for the rest of their lives. But delays have been constant throughout the 9 years, so no one will be surprised if the April date slips. Officers from the Elite Banditry Repression Brigade, BRB, of the Paris Judicial Police are particularly angry about this, having caught all of the alleged gang in simultaneous raids back as long ago in January 2017. The detectives were convinced that justice would be swift and decisive, but timetabling problems caused by high-profile terrorist trials caused backlogs. There were also fears that publicity because of the Kardashian connection process would destroy the upmarket Paris tourism industry at a time of prestige five-star events, right up until last summer's Olympics. So 9 years on, most of the key defendants are also old and sick, meaning that they were all freed from high-security remand cells where they were originally expected to remain until trial. Frustrated by the continuous adjournments, investigators have meanwhile provided an extraordinary account of the raid to Mail Online. Leaks include a neatly typed document listing Kardashian's married name before her 2022 divorce, reading, "Victim, Ms. Kimberly Kardashian West, damage of $10 million. The police dossier shows how a combination of DNA and CCTV analysis, phone taps and geolocation, and dogged determination by detectives including the physical tailing of suspects, led to the smashing of Omar County within 2 months of their Hollywood-style heist. The saga began back in the summer of 2016, when old Omar got a tip that a big American star was coming to town and that she was showing off her fabulous wealth on Instagram. This was a time when old-school criminals were abandoning traditional heists for so-called saucisons, sausage raids which involve following rich people into their homes, wrapping them up like sausages and then forcing them at gunpoint to say where they kept their valuables, before stealing them. According to prosecutors, the Kardashian tip came from Floris Haroui, who ran a bar in Le Marais. The Central Paris district has always been a hotbed of professional criminals, but is now also populated by wealthy creatives, including actors and fashionistas. Haroui is said to have got precise information about Ms. Kardashian's movements during Paris Fashion Week from Gary Matter, a VIP greeter who regularly met stars as they arrived at Paris Le Bourget airport by private jet. Crucially, Matter was trusted and liked by Ms. Kardashian, and had close family links to the car company she always used when in France, and they were photographed together many times. Old Omar was fleeing justice at the time, having been arrested for his alleged involvement in a drugs racket, and was relying on his petite blonde mistress, Christiane Glodin, for safe houses to stay in. Better known simply as Kathy, the Marais-born 79-year-old who was first convicted of drug trafficking in the early 1990s, is on the Kardashian charge sheet as a key organizer of the heist. Back in 2016, she allegedly joined Omar and other gang members ogling Kim's jewels after Googling pictures on a computer, according to a police investigator. None of them had much idea who Kim was, but they liked her very expensive bling, the source added. All were particularly interested in Ms. Kardashian's 18.88-carat engagement ring, especially after she proudly announced that she did not wear fake jewelry. Scouting out the star's Paris address was easy. Omar told detectives, the gang simply had to follow Ms. Kardashian's Mercedes V-Class people carrier to find out that she was staying in the Hôtel de Portales, a converted mansion close to La Madeleine Church. Better known as the No Address, Portales is a collection of dream apartments which have welcomed multiple Hollywood A-listers, including Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro, as well as Madonna and the late Prince. Crucially, the tip was that Ms. Kardashian would enjoy some me-time alone in the Sky penthouse at Portales, while allowing her staff and family members out on the town. This is exactly what happened in the early hours of October 3, when, at 2:20 a.m., three cyclists in fluorescent yellow vests approached the no address and parked their bikes in the courtyard.